Thank you. Thanks for inviting us here, for B Corp Europe, for inviting us to the stage to present TTC Mobile. We are still classified as a startup, but I just learned that we initiated at the same year that B Corp actually initiated, 2007. So it's a great year. Probably some great initiatives launched by then. We also just learned that we were nominated as one of the best in the world B Corps because of our 126 points on social and environmental impact. Thank you. So yeah, very cool to be here. What I want to talk about is not so much TTC Mobile as I want to talk about the power of information in general. What we do at TTC Mobile is we try to close the information gap. So we try to make organizations understand people and people organizations in emerging markets. So it's not really about the Netherlands. Our action really happens in Africa, Asia, South America. And we use mobile tools to do that. So we use mobile channels, SMS, voice, the stuff that you know from 10 years ago, but also increasingly also online channels, apps, websites, etc. And what I want to show you is what the power of information can be if you share that with people who previously didn't have access to information. People who don't have any Google to look up what to do when they're pregnant, or who don't have any Google to check the weather forecasting, or the market prices as a farmer. And I think it's important to understand what the power of information is, because we as a B Corp movement, as B Corps itself, but also the guys who maybe want to become B Corps, can improve their products, services, and understanding of markets when they go to Africa and they want to launch something there, and to understand what they should do to actually meet the requirements and the needs of the users. But you might first ask me, why mobile? Why is that the tool to reach people? Everyone has a mobile phone. I'm not really curious about that. But then the question usually is, who in Africa has a mobile phone? A lot of people who've been there in South America and Asia, they know that mobile penetration is high, but I just want to fire some quick statistics. Look at the development of mobile penetration in the last 15 years. And I'm not sure if everybody can see it, but we got overtaken. Developed world had 75% in 2000 of mobile connections. And now the developing world has 75% of mobile connections. And where are these guys at? The mobile penetration in a lot of these countries reaches up to 100% in continents like Latin America, 55% in Africa, close to 100% in Asia. So these are people that all have a mobile phone or they have access to a mobile phone. They can fire up questions to systems. They can ask systems to people. They can call hotlines. And increasingly, they can use online services. And this is an interesting chart, because it's a 3G and 4G penetration in sub-Saharan Africa. If I think about Africa, there's all kinds of thoughts that go through my mind. But somebody who hasn't been there, you probably don't realize that there's a lot of internet technology. More than 80% of the land coverage in Africa is covered by 3G networks. But still, only 16% at this moment is estimated to have a 3G connection in the next years. So that means that still there's a big gap between people that have possibly access to 3G and who are actually using it. So Africa is not the 3G market and not the online market that some people may talk about. And definitely not the 4G market with 0.5%. Still, if you look at online, and it's a developing world. We're developing quickly. We're leapfrogging. So if we estimate the amount of online tools, and if we look at the different phones that we're using, in the developing world, close to 75% is using feature phones. So it's not about smartphones, it's not about iPhones, it's not about Samsungs. It's about Java-enabled Nokias, stuff that has maybe a 2G browser, very simple browsing, maybe some WhatsApp and Facebook. So people are getting online, but it's still simple. So let's not overestimate that. Just a thought. Now the big challenge for us, for TTC, but I think for any B Corp and any company in general, if you want to reach those people in the field, what channel do you choose? Because if you choose any channel, USSD, SMS, online, it's quite a broad scope. But you also want to reach out to all the groups of people and not just discriminate on anyone. So you want to use any handset, any language, you want to use any mobile channel, you want to do all the other different operators. So which one do you choose to effectively and easily reach everyone and do that efficiently as well? And then once you've constructed your message, you've chosen your channel, how do you reach the right person at the right time, with the right channel, with the right message, with the right focus, with the right topic, and answer his question at that moment. So it's a challenging thing, and you've got to tweak all those different indicators to effectively and powerfully bring across your information, to make sure that that information brings power to the people in the field, because that essentially is what we try to do. We try to bring power, to empower people to make their own choices, to inform them about essential life-changing information so they can make their own choices, for instance, about their HIV/AIDS status. And that was the first project that we did. I want to show you this picture. It was taken in Uganda, a very tiny district that we worked in back in 2007. We didn't really have a clue what we were doing. We thought we had a really great idea to educate people on HIV/AIDS using SMS. Nobody really believed it. There was a lot of skepticism. A lot of people said people don't have mobile phones. But we thought that might be a way to reach 5,000 people in a very tiny district of Uganda, educate them using some quizzes on HIV/AIDS, and then empower them to take the right decision to continue their life. And the right decision was whether they were going to get themselves tested. What you see here is a 2-hour waiting line because of people that actually went to a clinic following our system that said, hey, this is something that I need to do. I need to take this decision to get myself tested, to save me, to save my family, etc. So we empowered them to take their own lives into their own hands. And what was funny is that we didn't have a clue what we were doing, but we are still doing the same thing today with the same model, with the same type of technology, but then a different case. I don't have to tell you how many people died of Ebola, because that's been in the news all over the place. But it's interesting if you can educate people using a mobile technology, a mobile phone, because these people cannot be touched. You cannot really get close to them, because if you touch them, you might get infected yourself. And to show you what information can do, this is a question that we asked some of the people in the field, and we wanted to show this to policymakers, to NGOs that were working in Sierra Leone at that moment. The question is there currently a vaccine to prevent Ebola, to prevent Ebola from spreading? And 50% of the people says yes, and 50% of the people says no, which equals to me is people don't have a clue. So they are trying to figure out what they want to, they're trying to figure out the right message, but they don't really know how to prevent Ebola or not. And I think with this, if you show this to policymakers, they can finally direct the information that they're providing to the population and give them the right message. But it's also very easy to reach people using mobile technology, because with one click of a button, they can reach millions of people efficiently using SMS, because these people have their own phones. Now, to take that back to B Corps, to take back to B Corp the power of information, we asked 2 B Corp here who are in the audience about what their biggest question was for the African market. Because it's not only about information, it's also about asking them and getting the information from the right people. And Tony's is a chocolate manufacturer that many people will probably know. The orange one is the best one, I think. Not because I'm Dutch, but really because it's the best one. And they want to see, okay, what is my potential when I launch my chocolate in Ghana? Because it's a really Dutch brand, and we are launching in the US and Europe, but what can I do if I bring it back to Africa? So they want to see a competitive position. What we ask people in the field is, what should the price of a chocolate bar be? And what are the biggest competitors? So what is your favorite chocolate brand? We used a sample of 100 people, so it's not a scientific research. Don't bias me on that. But for Tony's, it's powerful information, because they now know that King's Bite, with 44%, is the favorite brand of chocolate, and they know that the price is around 5 cedis to 10 cedis, which equals around $2.50 to $3. Now, the funny fact is that a Tony's bar in the Netherlands is around $3. So they might have a really competitive position in Ghana. The same thing we asked for IV Kickstarter, one of the other B Corps. I see them right here on the left. They're a micro-entrepreneurship platform, and they now have free products online that micro-entrepreneurs can buy in the countries. And they wanted to know what kind of water sources are people using, and what do they pay for that? Because then they know if a water filter is actually something potentially interesting for the markets that they're operating in. So we asked what kind of water source do you use, and you see that 88%, because tap water, rainwater, and groundwater might be potential users of a water filter. And they also now know that it's around $5 that people monthly spend on their water. So if you take that together, for Ivy, it's interesting to understand, hey, wait a minute, this is my potential ground in Kenya that I can sell my filters for. But for Tony's, it's interesting information to understand, hey, this is a potential market that I can launch my product in. And to close off that kind of a power frame of information idea, I would actually challenge B Corps more to look at the local markets and look at the information from the local markets and ask yourselves, hey, wait a minute, is the product that I'm launching, not only here in the Netherlands or in Europe or in the US, but especially if you're working in developing countries, is it still fulfilling the needs and the requirements of the people? Because we have so many channels, we have so many opportunities and so much communication tools available that we can use. So please let's use them and ask people, hey, wait a minute, is this something that you want to use still? Or can I improve my product? Or for a service provider, can I improve my service? Or for a policymaker in government, can I improve my policies because I'm not really covering what you want? So that was my idea. Thank you very much. We're down in the market, so.